Hey guys, welcome to Oddcast. We're your hosts, Joe and CN, and we want to talk to you about the MCU's latest entry into their, I don't even know what I'd call it anymore, film library. It used to be cinematic universe, but let's be real.
It's still kind of cinematic universe.
But now it includes video games and some comics and television shows. It's kind of, I think that expanded universe fits more to what Marvel's doing than what DC was doing, and I say was because we all know what you did, Ezra. We all know.
Reverse Flash.
We're on to you, Ezra. We know what you're up to.
Oh, girl, what happened to you?
Who did this to you?
Are you okay?
Okay, no judgments, but whoever did this to you does not care about you.
You do not need him.
Or her.
Or them.
But you do need shoes, because this is a public bathroom.
Right. Got some here. Take these right here.
Yes, and then let's put this on.
Oh, thank you, but I just need to get cleaned up. I don't need you to put makeup on me.
Yes, you do.
We're not falling for it. We spot a villain when we see them.
Absolutely. 100%.
And we can spot a hero when we see them, and that is what we're diving into today with She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
Attorney at Law.
Yeah, it's impossible not to do that. Thanks, Harvey Birdman.
Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
Exactly.
So I just want to start off with, I really dug the first episode. I know that it's an introduction to what's going on, but it establishes exactly the kind of pacing and tone that we wanted, and it kind of, I don't know, it's different than the other MCU properties, which I also think is cool.
It seems a lot more fun. It seems that it has a very upbeat, very almost comedic tone to it.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely, but we know that they're also going to introduce, you can tell that there's an undertone of something serious is coming, so they have to make it lighthearted. Kind of that's what they do with all the Spider-Man movies, with the exception of, I would say, No Way Home. They all start off with this kind of lighthearted camp, and then all of a sudden it's by the way,
they bring you up. They bring you up just to crush you.
Yeah.
This is magnificent.
Oh yeah, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
So I think that it's fun mostly because I don't know a lot about She-Hulk other than a little bit that I've learned from some of the comics and the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
I actually know a good bit about She-Hulk. Some comics say she's actually stronger than the Hulk, but I think that was only in a couple of issues. But
I feel like that might be a Smart Hulk comparison, because Smart Hulk is toned down a little bit. But I thought fun origin story, and it wasn't long and drawn out. You didn't have to follow Jennifer before she had her powers, which I love the psych out in the beginning because
I was gonna say that
you go into it and you're like, oh, okay, it's gonna be one of those things, and then she turns back to the camera, breaks the fourth wall, and you immediately go, oh, it's not gonna be one of those things. We're gonna dive right in. Okay, let's do it.
Oh, one sec. Yeah, about that. It's true. I am a Hulk. And I'm guessing you're not going to be able to focus on this fun lawyer show until you know all about that, so let me get you up to speed.
She-Hulk, first person in the comics to break the fourth wall. Spider-Man talks to himself. That's not quite the same.
Which I wasn't sure if they were going to do. I wasn't sure if they were actually going to do the whole fourth wall breaking because of Deadpool. I thought they were going to not do that aspect just to make Deadpool more unique. Especially since Deadpool 3 is coming out and he's going to be part of the MCU. So I didn't think they were going to do that, but they did. I'm here for it.
So I just want to say this. Now that you know that Deadpool breaks the fourth wall and She-Hulk breaks the fourth wall, doesn't that make a certain amount of anticipation where you're like, oh man, and they have the license to both? I can't wait to see if these two characters interact for any reason.
The conversations between them and us, the audience, is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, especially since one of them is a lawyer and one of them's a smartass.
Yeah, I can totally see Deadpool realizing that she breaks the fourth wall. He's like, what the shit?
That is my shtick. And then she'll be like, I did it first in the comics. No. Yep. I guess. Maybe.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
But totally on board. But Tatiana Maslany, such a great performance. You don't even realize that for the majority of the episode, it's just her and one other person the whole time.
Yep.
To me, that means that you can carry it. Like, it's just them. And then Bruce's little like quips and like things that he threw out there, also kind of fun, including his Genosha style band that he had that turned him into a human so that he could try and heal his arm.
Now, what I think was actually interesting, I do like the fact that they've actually explained, because I saw in the trailer like him, training her by throwing. I was like, how do you fix his arm? Because that was like a constant thing, even in like the the Shang-Chi movie and stuff like that. He still had the sling. So I was like, how do you fix his arm? And they explained that she was the reason for that, and I thought that was kind of cool.
I agree. And not only did they explain that she's the reason, but now having seen Miss Marvel and like the hint that she might not be inhuman but might be a mutant, the fact that there's another latent power for She-Hulk that was in her DNA according to Bruce's scans leads to the weird question of, do you think that she was also a mutant and now she's been exposed to gamma radiation?
Well, I don't know, because his words were, you and I both have a unique DNA trait. Then that means that he would also be a mutant if that was the case.
Well, no, but what I'm referring to is the healing factor, because he didn't have that. And he used a transfusion of her blood with the gamma radiation in order to heal his arm. That's what he said.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You and I, we share a rare combination of genetic factors that allow us to synthesize gamma radiation into something else.
So I turn into a Hulk now, too.
I have been analyzing your blood, and the way it synthesized gamma, I was able to use it to completely heal my arm.
So I wonder if that minor difference, if they're going to try and make it, I don't know. But I know that the High Evolutionary's coming because they already announced him as a villain coming up.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see like what part he plays in that. Other kind of cool Easter eggs that I dug. I loved the fact that it was a Sakaran spacecraft, a Sakaran
out of nowhere
courier vessel that was sent to find the Hulk.
Yep.
I was half expecting the person that she was prosecuting to be Hammer.
Why Hammer?
I don't know. I just expected it to be him. Like it just seemed like the right target because he's already an established kind of MCU villain, and it kind of brings back AIM, but it wasn't him. So it was one of the, or Hammer Industries rather. I just, in my brain before they panned the camera over, I was like, heck yeah, here we go. Oh, you're not who I thought you were. I like that her best friend's in on it. I love the support at the bar, which, by the way, to me seemed like a very Terminator type of scene to happen. Like, she wakes up, she needs clothes, she finds herself at a biker bar. I was like, okay, Arnold, we're on to you. We know what's going on here.
Yeah, I was like, this scene looks familiar.
I also love how obsessed she is with Steve Rogers.
Yes. It made it more evident at the end. If you guys stayed, and it wasn't too far in the end, but if you guys stayed for the post-credit scene, she was just all about Steve Rogers and the fact that he didn't have sex or something like that. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, and she faked being drunk and tricked Bruce into it. But what I love most is that I just, like 2 days ago, started seeing posts for Steve Rogers has a secret son, and part of me is like, are they bringing him in to the MCU? Like, is that like the subtle steps of bringing that character forward? I don't know anything about him. I know that he teams up with Sam Wilson, the Falcon, who we now know is Captain America. They team up, but is the MCU going to go that route with him having a child who wasn't with Peggy because he lost his virginity to a girl? According to Hulk, it was 1943. Okay. And if he ages slow, like his father had a delayed response, whatever, then he could technically be a younger looking man, but not younger.
Makes sense.
So I'd be interested to see. That's all I'm saying. But needless to say, I am totally stoked. I cannot wait to see how Daredevil and Wong fit into this whole thing. Like, just these little puzzle pieces are now all coming together. I can't wait to see how they get pieced together. So overall, what would you say? Introductory episode to She-Hulk.
I mean, I gave it a solid 8. I thought it was really good, well written. I don't know if they're going to keep Mark Ruffalo as a recurring character or not. I don't know if he was just, they tend to do that for a lot of shows, or bring in like a big name character or whatever. for like the first episode and then get rid of him later down the line. So I don't know if they're going to do that or not.
It is an interesting call. I know that Mark Ruffalo in the first episode was listed as a special guest star, so
yeah,
it is. I am interested to see, if he comes around more. I have a feeling that he will, but I'm guessing that we might go a long chunk of the season without seeing him, and then towards the end he shows up. Especially since they're going to have to answer the Sakaran courier thing at some point.
At some point, they got to answer that. Yeah.
Wait, did we hit a spaceship?
Yeah, Sakaran Class A courier craft. They're probably trying to deliver a message. I gotta get to the bottom of that.
I'm going to give it an 8 also, not just because it was good, but also because I really like the return to form of having the Marvel theme song at the start of it, as opposed to like a different theme song. I do know that it is unfortunately already being review bombed on IMDb. That started before it even got released for review. And believe you me, CNI track as soon as things come out so we can try and watch them to get reviews to you guys as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So we know the big guys, the big ones like IGN and stuff, they get to watch the episodes before us, obviously, but like there's no way that many people saw the first episode before us. We've been tracking, damn it. We've been watching and waiting. So they just bombed on it and didn't like it. And I'm pretty sure that it is because of because it's a female superhero. And unfortunately, they get a bad rap. Just like Miss Marvel, which was actually pretty entertaining. You should give it a shot. Got review bombed for reasons. She-Hulk is great. You should watch it.
Yes.
Give it a shot.
Yes.
And then if you get the opportunity, be a good defense attorney and hop on IMDb and defend it against people who are review bombing it.
Give it a good review because it really is good.
We'd love to hear from you. Are we wrong? Is it actually a trash show and you want to tell us why? Are there things that you think we should know about She-Hulk? Is she actually a mutant and I just didn't already know that information? Let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe and the little bell for notifications, because we're not only going to dive more into She-Hulk, we know, Game of Thrones people, we're going to review the show too.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in those comments as well. Have a great one. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next time on Oddcast.
Later, guys.